for the cost, there's a whole lot better options. Well, hello again. All right, so for about the past 90 days, on and off-ish, I've been using this i5R, OLIGHT i5R EOS. It's their newest little EDC pocket-sized flashlight, I'd call it. One of the newest. I guess they just put out the i5R Pro too around the same time. Regardless, it runs on their own customized cell that's not quite a 14500 cell, but so I've seen a lot of people on YouTube calling it that, so I want to get that out of the way. It's not a 14500 cell. It's just like all the other OLIGHT lights, asterisk. It's a customized cell, proprietary to OLIGHT, so I want to put that out. This is a good purchase if you meet some certain criteria. If you already own an i5T or have a collection of i5Ts, this isn't worth it for you unless you're trying to start another collection, or you're one of those like completionist people who needs 100% achievements and you want to have all the collections, then I'm not going to stop you. If you're new to the flashlight game, and or you're trying to get some stocking stuffer gifts for some people who aren't necessarily flashlight savvy, don't care about CRI emitters or any of that stuff, this is a good choice. It's got a no-nonsense user interface, you know, click on, click off, click on, click off, low and high mode, half press for momentaries. It's a good choice if you already own one or more i5Ts. This is definitely not for you. The brightness you're going to gain is negligible compared to the AA battery powered i5T. And I'd even say, if we go into it later, there's some other reasons why I wouldn't even get this flashlight in the first place. It will, on the other hand, with their customized cell, net you quite a bit more runtime in the low mode. Roughly double. It's like 20 hours for the i5T with a AA and 37 hours or something for the i5R with their customized cell. And it will also, they both step down from their highest like 300-ish lumen setting to, one's 300, one's 350. They both step down to about 150 lumen, and the i5R will do that for 3 hours, and the i5T will do it for 25 minutes, according to my notes down here. So other than that, I kind of want to get into some pros and cons of this flashlight and discuss why I would or would not purchase it. Me personally, I obviously have already bought one. I bought a 3-pack where this came with the OD green and copper one as well, but I'm going to flip those or give them away as gifts. Some of the pros, like I said earlier, it's a very simple user interface. Click on, click off, click on, click off, and you've got low and high modes. It works with all different types of AA, whether that's alkaline, nickel, metal hydride, these lithium AAs, whatever it is, it works with those. And it works with their little customized cell. The proprietary cell that they provide is rechargeable via USB-C cable, which they provide that as well. You have to have your own little wall wart power brick, but we've all got a million of those, I'm sure. So it's not that it's difficult to recharge the battery, it's just that it's another cable you got to have, another thing you got to charge, another USB port you need with some ampage output, whatever. It's relatively inexpensive. It's about $6 more than the i5T. I think this is $35.99 and the i5T is $29.99 or $95, however they want to do their left digit theory. It's a good gift. For the amount of money you're spending, it's going to beat anything you're going to find at like Walmart or Home Depot, unless they started carrying better flashlights in their departments, but I don't think so.
All right, just here at Walmart, checking out what they have to offer. That seems to be their biggest and best. Can't quite tell what cell it's on. I'm guessing 18650, but yeah, nothing good.
It's got good run times. It's 3 hours on high with that 350 lumen for like 10 minutes, and then, like we said, it steps down for almost 3 hours to the 150 lumen mark. It'll also do a day and a half on the low 15 lumen mode, so it's not a bad choice for if you're in an emergency and you want to have some flashlights on the side. Plus, it'll, like I said, readily available, run on AAs. It does not tail stand, so I kind of like, I had the power go out not long ago, and it's nice to have a flashlight that you could put on a table and tail stand and bounce it off the ceiling, and it almost turns into a room light in the first place, even though it's just this little small handheld source. Cons, like I've been touching on over and over again, the proprietary cell is one of my biggest deal breakers. And again, I hear a lot of YouTube reviewers say a 14500 cell. It is absolutely not a 14500 cell. It is a ORBC-145C14 cell, 2.4 volt output, which the normal 14500 cells, I believe, are 3.7 volt, and this is 1420 milliamps, which is usually higher than the 800 to 1000 milliamps I see on 14500 batteries. The i5R will not run on a 14500 battery. It may, but it'll more than likely overheat like the i5T does, so don't do it. They won't support it. They don't back it up. I'd recommend that a millionfold less than I'd recommend running an i3T on a 10440, which I absolutely 100% recommend doing. There are no other lights that run on this OLIGHT cell, so it's nice if you have a couple of them. If you build up a collection, you could have a little battery holder that holds a few of their little customized cells. And then theoretically, you could throw some AA's in there too. Like I have a fanny pack with a bunch of batteries. Yeah, that's me. But then you have a on-the-go power supply, a whole bunch of them. Good solution if you ask me. But then again, it's a hard to charge situation. You got to bring an extra USB cell or an extra USB port, all that good stuff. There's only one source for replacement and the costs are higher. I don't even see a price option for or the ability to buy one of these customized cell batteries in and of itself. But I could tell you a 14500 800 milliamp battery EVVA brand from Killzone Flashlights is $8.99. I'm guessing if they do come out with them, they'll be like $11.95 for the OLIGHT cell. For another example, if you want to compare a 18650 EVVA compared to the customized OLIGHT 18650, it's $15.99 versus $18.95, which is about 20% higher cost. So it's only a few bucks, but if you're a nerd with flashlights like me, that definitely adds up over how many 18650s or whatever form factor you buy. It's kind of like the smartphone manufacturers, and I'm pretty sure iPhone's adopted the USB-C, but maybe they still haven't. But it's, you need a lightning cable, and then you need a USB-C cable, and maybe you have a battery bank that still uses a micro USB for some reason. So now you're having to bring all these different cables and all this different cable management. Harley Wood mentioned in one of his recent videos too about AceBeam's new weapon-mounted light, where I wish more of these manufacturers would just adopt a USB-C recharging situation, and then that would knock this all out of the park. But me and him are both advocates for that. Let's get a change.org petition going, right? There's a bunch better options, and I'm going to get into a beam pattern showdown after this, but for the cost, there's a whole lot better options. If you're looking for something that runs on AA for the runtime versus a AAA, go with the i5T if you haven't already. If you don't own any flashlights, cool, buy the i5R. I won't stop you. It's a great flashlight for 36 bucks. But if you already own a bunch of flashlights, you've got a lithium-ion battery charger, I'd go with like a Lumentop Tool AA 2.0 again, which is going to be a whole lot less money at $20. And if you've already got the cells and the chargers, that's a no-brainer to me. You're saving, it's a little over half the cost. Above all of that, I'd say just buy another i3T and run a 10440 cell in it. I understand the milliamp hours are lower and the run times are lower, so if run time's a really big deal for you, then go with one of those. But in my eyes, if runtime's a big deal for you, I would just go with a different form factor flashlight that has a bigger battery cell with more milliamp hours. To me, these little handheld AA and AAA flashlights are more for like quick jobs to, strap to your head, the bill of your cap, and have a quick headlight in a pinch. But yeah, let's get into some beam patterns, and I'll show you, in my opinion, why I wouldn't spend the money on the i5R versus the rest of them just based on output levels. We've got the Lumentop AA Tool 2.0, i5R, i5T, i3T with a 10440 lithium ion, and an i3T with a AA. So to start this test, let's do the Lumentop Tool 2.0 versus the i5R. i5R on low, can't even see it. We're at f4 1/60th of a second at ISO 800 and about 10 feet away from a seamless black backdrop. That's on high. Okay. That's on high for the Lumentop. Lowest, and it's got a few different settings, so you'll see it clicking on, but its high is definitely quite a bit higher than that of the i5R. Okay, let's turn those both off. Let's go now to the i5T versus the i5R. Here's the i5T low, can't even really see it. i5T on high, about the same as the i5R on high. There's its low, there's its high. Okay, I can't really tell the difference between the two. I don't know about you. All right, next on the list, let's do the i5R versus the i3T with a lithium ion. There's low, can kind of see it. High, can definitely see it, and it's definitely brighter than the high of the i5R. And last but not least, God, that was great, is the i3T with a AA versus the i5R. There's high on the i5R, there's high on the i3T. So it's just a little bit, only so much so brighter. You know, it's not that much better. So if it were me, i3T with the 10440 is probably my top choice. That and or the Lumentop Tool AA 2.0. They're about the same cost of $20 a piece. And the Tool 2.0 is rated to run on the 14500 and the AA, while the i3T isn't supposed to run on the 10440, even though it does a great job on it.